you need to clean the inside of the body as much as possible. And you do that by drinking this good water and also eating the right foods. But those things on the outside of the body, we approach slightly different. The reason is the skin is slightly acidic. The pH of the skin, if it's healthy skin, is somewhere around 6.5, where the inside of the body should be slightly alkaline, except in certain parts of the digestive system. So the skin, we can use what they call beauty water on, and the Japanese love this water. It's actually made during the process of electrolysis when the drinking water is made. And this water has about a 6.5 pH. It's slightly astringent, meaning it tightens up the pores. You can spray that on the skin. You can wash your hair in it. You can wash all of your skin with it. And it's an incredible tool to help keep you looking young, keep the wrinkles down. Again, it needs to be combined with proper eating and drinking plenty of water. And while we're talking about that, let me just say that my rule of thumb is that you should drink at least 1 ounce of Kangen water for every pound that you weigh every single day if you have any kind of health problems or if you're a high energy, highly active person. A sedentary person with an office job who's not really active might be able to get away with about 3/4 of an ounce of water per pound. But if you're drinking less than that, you're starting to dehydrate. So on the skin, we use the beauty water to help tighten it up, to help make it stronger, and it certainly works extremely well for eczema, for psoriasis and acne and things like that. And in China and Japan and Korea and places like that where these water ionizers have been around for some time, they're using them in the hospitals on unbelievably terrible cases of psoriasis. I've seen pictures of people where all of their legs are just raw almost from the problem, and so it's an incredibly nice, gentle, no side effect approach to helping to heal up these kinds of problems. Now, another water that's very, very exciting to me is the extremely strong acid water. The strong acid water comes in at a pH of around 2.5, but it has a positive ORP of over 1100. And there's been studies done showing that if you have water with an ORP, a positive ORP above 650, that in actuality that water will kill any microorganism exposed to it, like E. coli, salmonella, after just 30 seconds.
Wow.
So one of the things that I'm excited about using this water for, this strong acid water, is neutralizing these things that right now are in our food sources. Because I have a lot of patients who tell me they're afraid to eat salads or they're afraid to eat certain vegetables or fruits because of the E. coli. Yeah.
I'm one of them.
So it gets pretty exciting to know that we have a solution and it's safe. I saw a video where in Japan they're using this water in greenhouses. And they actually showed on this TV that was done by the Japanese TV system, public television, and they actually had people in these spacesuit-looking things with respirators on and the big hazmat suits because they were in these greenhouses spraying these pesticides and insecticides. And now they're using this strong acid water instead of that, and they're in there in tank tops and shorts and flip-flops. And there's no downside because within 30 seconds, the water has neutralized the microorganisms and the pests and so on. So it's pretty exciting. And then there's one other water that I really want to tell you about real quickly, and that's the one that's really strong alkaline water. And that strong alkaline water, you can soak your fruits and vegetables in and pull a lot of the toxins off of them. In fact, if you put your fruit and vegetables in it, as George will show us on the presentation that he's done, you can actually see a lot of the garbage, we'll call it, that's on those foods come off. And you won't see that happen when you're using regular bottled water or tap water. So there's some really neat things. And another thing that water has been amazing at is I have a friend who used that strong alkaline water to clean a rental house that he had. And apparently the shower stall in this thing was pretty grungy. And he said he sprayed it down really good, waited a few minutes, and just wiped it down by hand. Unbelievable. So there's some really powerful things that we get out of this water, Jeannie.
I would say that this machine is worth its weight in gold, I would think. Let me ask you this, Dr. Carpenter. Why do you personally believe that the Enagic water machine is the premier, the very best one available in the marketplace? I mean, I believe it is, but I know that you also feel that way. So if you could just elaborate a bit on your belief there.
Sure, Jeannie. I have to say that for the last 12 to 15 years, I have known about and read about these water ionizers and have seen not only them in person in hospitals being used, but I've seen reports and studies showing how they benefit people. So when I got back to the States and was able to buy one, I found one that was made in China, and I bought my first one. And I can't tell you how disappointed I was when the water didn't do what the literature on the sales pamphlet told me it was going to do. And since that time, I've bought several different ones with different companies. I think just about every company that's selling a unit out there, I probably bought one of their units because I know how important it is to get the right water in a patient's body and in my own body. And I wanted to do that, and so I would spend the money and try these units, and what I found over time was different things would indicate to me they just were not doing what they needed to do. When I actually tried the Enagic machine, I can't tell you how excited I was because everything I wanted it to do, it did and more, and I knew it was doing it. For years, just for example, I've been drinking green drinks as part of my alkalizing program. And I'd put the green powder in the water, I'd shake it up, I'd take a few swallows, and I'd set it down on my desk, and I'd do some work, and I'd come back, and most of the green powder was at the bottom of the bottle. Micro-ionized water should not allow that to happen. When I got the Enagic machine and took my green drink the first time, I shook it up in the water, and the green stayed in suspension the entire rest of the time until I drank that water. I knew there was something special about it. And folks, when you're looking at the demonstration, watch what happens with the green tea and how one little bag of tea goes so far because of the micro-ionized water. And you'll start to understand better what I'm trying to explain here. This machine does what we all want it to do. Most of the others out there that I have been exposed to have been very disappointing. They don't seem to have the quality, they don't have the life, and they don't even produce the water consistently. And I can't have that. When I'm dealing with people who are sick and when I'm dealing with myself and my family and loved ones, I want the best. So that's why.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Carpenter. Let me just ask you this one last question. If there were one other thing that you'd want to share with everybody out there, I mean, certainly as people get more and more educated on how important this water is to one's health, and we're certainly doing our best to do that with your assistance, but I don't see how anybody could not want to have this in their life. But if you had one other thing to share with our viewers out there on alkalizing, on the importance of water, on the importance of this particular machine, what would that be?
Jeannie, there's a couple things I'd like to mention. One is it may be misleading to the average person when we talk about the acid waters. Because acid tends to make us think of really serious things like battery acid, for example. And even though we know we neutralize that with baking soda, which is highly alkaline, this water is actually not, although it tests on a pH scale at 2.5, the extreme acid water, it's actually drinking water. It comes right out of your tap, and the pH is achieved through electrolysis. In other words, it's an ion exchange. It's an electrical charge that's been added. And you can safely put this water on your skin, which I know you did with these suspicious spots. And the reason they work so well, by the way, to answer your previous question, is that there are little microorganisms that get in the skin that cause things like warts and moles and even some other types of skin conditions. And this water, as I mentioned earlier, because of the strong ORP of the water, the oxidative reduction potential, literally stops these little microorganisms basically on contact within 30 seconds. Again, according to the studies. So it's basically knocking out the viruses or other little bacteria and things that are causing these abnormalities on the skin. And it allows the body to heal itself. The skin is what we consider the third kidney of the body. It's actually the largest organ that a body has. Covers more surface area than anything else. And so the body uses the skin to get rid of a lot of toxins when the other systems are not working properly. The other thing I wanted to say to our viewers tonight is we in America are really in a healthcare crisis right now. Paul Zane Pilzer wrote the book, The Wellness Revolution. And in it he talked about the state of the healthcare system in America and how the baby boomers want to live longer and be healthier, and we all do, and how we're looking for answers. Folks, I'm here to tell you tonight that in all the years I've been in this business of helping people with their health challenges, there has never been an easier single thing that I can recommend that you can use to help yourself and your loved ones be more healthy than drinking this wonderful water that we've talked about tonight. If you figure out the cost of this one simple thing in your life to change yourself and your family and your health, it's the cheapest insurance you could possibly ever take out. And if you're willing to combine that with some reasonably good eating habits, some good exercise, some meditation, some prayer, and a well-balanced life, I see no reason most of us can't achieve what we want, a longer, healthier life.
Dr. Carpenter, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and your experience with us here today. We appreciate it so much. Thank you.
You're sure welcome.